let us look at this habit in dog culture of reporting dog abuse. So this is very prevalent. Um, there are many places to report dog abuse: local animal control agencies, police, humane organizations. If you pop on the internet, like I've showed you right here, I mean, there are just hundreds of write-ups, how to do it, how to get the picture, you know, all types of advice on how to capture this animal abuse going on. And it's also, as you can see right here, it's just a common internet search. And it's just like on Facebook and social media, you guys, we know that all somebody has to do is get a little picture from a Ring camera of maybe somebody rough handling a pit bull. And next thing you know, that person in the video, they want him fired from his job, thrown in prison, fined, take away his dogs, all that kind of stuff. So this is very, very encouraged. And since I'm talking about the picture of somebody rough handling a pit bull, there is a certain news story that relates to. I'll have it in the description. But it's a young man. It looks like he's pulling the pit bull around with a leash, and they called it animal abuse. And they called for this person to basically be wiped off the earth because he rough handled his pit bull. But let me share this picture with you right here. If you take a pit bull and encourage it to bite a tire or a tree branch, that creature will thrash itself. It will bang its body up against a tree for minutes and minutes and minutes, stretching its neck out, damaging its ribs. So that's the whole thing, guys. These dogs, when they fight and wrestle amongst each other, they bash each other all to freaking hell. But yet somebody rough handles a dog during one moment of stress, we'll want that person fired. We'll want that person kicked out of their job. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And it requires just stupidity, cognitive dissonance. These dogs rough handle the heck out of themselves all the time. You watch them fight and stuff at the doggy daycare. But if somebody rough handles their dog, we are so quick to call the police, throw their picture up on Facebook, and anonymously call for them to be fired from their job, everything else. Now, we can find examples from this all over society, but I'll share this one with you. This is from CBS San Diego. So they have this very fuzzy video, and they used language like, this employee body slammed the dog. But
CBS 8's Regina Yorita has reaction from the person who...
It looks like he picked the dog up by the torso and then flopped it down on its belly right there. It's crazy because they only have this fuzzy video of it. But if you go down in the comments and then you look up this doggy daycare, this man was fired from his job. He was made to look like a worthless person. He was called an abuser, a dog hater. And it looks like he just broke up a fight. And so let me go to another little piece of information about this. So dog-on-dog violence is common in doggy daycare. Dogs get injured by other dogs at daycare, especially during play. So this is a very common thing for a dog to go to doggy daycare and get injured or tossed around or bitten. Sometimes it's just like a minor bite and nobody talks about it. But ask a veterinarian, ask a dog owner, or just go on the internet. There's tons of information about this. So our guy right here, there's a good chance that he witnessed this. He's a good chance that he saw that dog be violent to this dog over here before. So there's a good chance that this guy prevented an injury by doing this. And even dog trainers, especially old school dog trainers, will tell you that putting the dog down on the floor like that is a way to assert dominance and prevent that dog from attacking. People that have hunting dogs do this type of stuff. They pick the dog up by the torso and lay it down like that. So it's pretty sad that we want to fire this guy from his job just because of a perceived slight against dogs, when there's a good chance that he was acting in good faith. So now let's go over to the U.S. Constitution. There's something called the Confrontation Clause. So let's read a short summary. It's the right to face your accuser, known as the Confrontation Clause, is part of the Sixth Amendment of the United States Constitution. It guarantees that in criminal prosecutions, the defendants have the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses. So it's like we've just bypassed the court and we've decided to fire this guy. Now, yes, I know people are going to argue, well, that's not an actual criminal prosecution. Well, if we're going to treat this guy like a criminal, shouldn't he have his day in court? Shouldn't he be allowed to at least cross examine his witnesses? Shouldn't he be able to say, hey, wait a minute, that dog has caused some fights before? Shouldn't that man be able to, tell his story, tell his truth, like all the people say right now? Shouldn't he be able to do that? Well, we're not letting him do it. So this is a violation of the Constitution. People are telling on this guy, expecting criminal justice to be handed down on him with a heavy hand, wanting him to be fired from his job, and they don't give him his Sixth Amendment rights to be able to cross-examine the witnesses that are against him. And another part about this, guys, is our guy in Oceanside right here. Him and thousands of other people get fired from their job or lambasted on Facebook, or even if they're business owners, they call for their businesses to be shut down. The absolute cognitive dissonance of this abuse reporting. How is that guy, this guy right here that you can barely see, how is he going to take better care of dogs overall if he has a pet dog when he's freaking jobless? you know, like people think they're saving dogs by hurting humans. They work on this blanket statement, zero sum thinking of let's just throw every dog abuser in jail, fire every dog abuser from their job, and take away all their dogs. Well, all of those dogs, the millions of dogs that are taken away from alleged dog abusers, they're going to go right into the overflowing shelters and get abused 10, 100 times worse than they would have living with a human that at least pays for their rent and gives them food. So yeah, this whole system of reporting dog abuse just requires absolute stupidity, and it requires hate for your fellow humans, manufactured hate, without giving your human the chance to stand up to their accusers and tell their story. So if you go to some websites, you can look up many of these cases actually end up becoming found out to be fake, false accusations of animal abuse. So while these people are running around reporting animal abuse, dragging their humans underneath the hammer of justice, many times it's fake. And so that is a huge tax on our legal system. The FBI, the state police, the animal control, all of those people that have to run out and investigate these little people with their cell phones taking these crap ass videos. That's your taxpayer money that's going into reporting this. So then as a taxpayer, you have to pay more for these fake things, right? You have to pay more money to your government, and that means you're less equipped to take care of your dogs. So this is not working. This is not a system that can actually work. This knee-jerk reporting animal abuse for any little surface thing is actually making everything worse in society. And my theory on this, it's just propaganda. It's propaganda to make us hate each other. And let's look a little bit more at that. So, in socialism, one of the ways they delivered propaganda was through the anonymous informant, the tattletale. Yes. So the tattletale was used to monitor and control political dissent and opposition. One of the ways that they keep us from being dissenting towards the government or anything is to keep us fighting amongst each other and keep us hating each other. And that's what this anonymous abuse reporting does. You can go on Facebook right now and grab a little snapshot of a dog in the back of a truck, and you can move your camera so it looks like the truck's moving faster, or you can put a little screenshot of the temperature right now and say that it's too hot or too cold, and you'll have 20 people ready to rally with you to get that person fired from their job or have their face put up all over Facebook. So, and a lot of people do it anonymously. Many of those outlets that I was showing you earlier on our little internet search, you can anonymously report it. So it's like socialism, and it's designed to make us hate each other, and it doesn't help dogs. So whether this is socialism or not, this whole system is absolutely stupid, and it doesn't work. And all it does is generate hate between humans, ramp up our taxpayer money because we have to use all of these places to go. Anytime animal abuse is reported, the sheriff or the police, They have to go out there and spend your taxpayer money, whether it's false or not. And in my opinion, it's always false. Because, watch this. So, as many Americans run around taking pictures of each other, calling out animal abuse, all of the abuse problems, the real abuse problems, are getting worse. Dog hoarding is a significant problem in the USA. 250 animals each year, primarily dogs and cats. Severe neglect, suffering. Hoarders typically cannot provide adequate care, nutrition, and sanitation. So, all of these people that have dogs in their basement, dogs out inside of a travel trailer, that are just basically living in their own waste, barely getting anything to eat, living in extreme cold and extreme heat. Largely nobody gives a care about those, because what are they doing? They're running around taking these little cell phone videos of a dog in the back of a truck, not giving the guy a chance to say why his dog was in the back of a truck. Meanwhile, probably like 2 or 3 blocks down from the person that is tattletaling on their neighbor is a basement full of 10, 20, 30 dogs. Yeah. So every single problem with dog ownership, hoarding, abuse, diseases, freaking all the stuff, seizures that happens to dogs because of, flea collars and other stuff, everything gets worse. Dog overpopulation gets worse. So all this bullshit reporting, at the end of the day, what is the sum of it? It's that we're hating each other. We're pushing each other away from each other because we think that everybody else is some type of dog abuser. But yet, every single issue with dog abuse gets worse. And what I'm talking to you about right now is actually being studied. Many people are talking about it. It's called Noah syndrome, the dangers of Noah syndrome. So if you read the Bible, Noah is the person that took all the animals onto the boat. Save them all, right? Save them all. So that's what people do. They think they're going to save every dog in the world. They fill their basement, their house, their small apartment, their abandoned travel trailer full of dogs, and they simply can't save them. Yeah. So what would actually be the solution then to this dog problem? Should we throw every dog owner in prison? No, because then they can't take care of their dogs. They'll be jobless, and their dogs will go into the already overflowing shelters. Yet that's what some people would say. The problem, in my opinion, is the presence of the dogs overall. Humans were not designed to take care of a fanged beast. So we're going to go back to socialism. So this whole thing with putting dogs with humans are not designed or evolved to raise dogs. So if we overflow the population with dogs, that's just like a fake utopia. Like the wolf is going to lay down with the sheep. The bird will not eat the insect. We'll all just cooperate. Everything will be perfect. The young women will lay down with the rapist, and the rapist won't rape. It'll be so perfect. This dog culture is a fake utopia. It's like utopia socialism, where everybody is just going to magically cooperate. There's going to be no bad things happen. We're going to put a rattlesnake right next to a little mouse, and everything's going to be fine. It's the same bullshit with this freaking dog culture. Children are dying right now while you sit at home petting your dog. Children are dying from dog attacks. And it's a fake utopia. Many people have totally good experiences with dogs, but it doesn't matter because they're pushing out this utopia and everybody has to pay for it. So, in my opinion, the way to escape this fake utopia is to start realizing that we were not made to have a society piled full of dogs. That is the main problem. We don't need to report abuse more. We don't need to close down businesses because somebody knocked a dog over. We need to leave the people alone and let them have their lives, but a life that is not crammed full of dogs. At the end of the day, hoarding gets worse. Overflowing shelters get worse. Stray dogs get worse. In Texas, stray dogs cause all kinds of problems for pet dogs, and they cause road accidents too. So at the end of the day, the problem is the mass amount of dogs that's being dumped on us. And then we're using this fake utopia as a way to demonize each other, call each other abusers. Yet the people that accuse others of abuse, they're really just cognitively dissonant because they're not doing one thing about the true massive abuse that goes on with dog culture. And and what do you guys think about my utopia reference? That's what dog culture reminds me of. It's like a utopia. It's like one of those pretty beautiful paintings of the little rattlesnake is cuddling up with the mouse, and the rattlesnake won't eat the mouse, and the mouse won't eat an insect, and we'll all be so perfect. No, it doesn't work that way. And it doesn't work that way with dog culture because we were designed to take care of each other, not dogs. See you guys later.